This is reposted.
Mr. Keller, I knew that I was going to be having some free time during the holidays. So I was very anxious to do the 7-day free trial of Apple TV. I knew I'd have a little couch time. I was very excited to see the Tom Hanks movie about the submarines, which was outstanding. Me and the wife had multiple date nights watching Ted Lasso. But the real reason I wanted Apple TV, I'd read the Beastie Boys book. I wanted to see the Beastie Boys documentary, which brings us to our quote today from Adam Yauch of the Beastie Boys, one of the members who actually passed away in 2012. I think every person has the ability to affect change. Every one of us affects the world constantly through our actions, through our every thought, our every word, the way that we interact with other people. We're constantly affecting the world. Now, I feel like that's true if you're a parent, but what does this mean if you're just a regular, because, person comes out of the womb, you kind of got to direct them in life. But I was thinking, like, how was I directing change when I was a single guy walking on the earth?
My first thought when I heard this or read this was that no, that's not true. There's I know people who are worthless and they don't contribute to society. And I thought about it more, and everyone has the ability to affect change. I think ability is the right word. If you do whatever you do and you try to do it the best you can do, I think you can affect change. I was thinking, I work at a grocery store and I'm a bagger. There's been a handful of baggers in my life that have been very upbeat and nice and do a
Yeah.
good job. And I'm like, hey, that was nice. There was one guy at Trader Joe's one time who was ringing me up, and he's like, hey, he was ringing me up. He was being very happy. And I was like, hey, have a good day. And he says, no, you have a good day. And I was like, oh, I really felt that. So, I mean, anyone, if they go into it with a positive attitude or work hard, can affect change. But that's what I think.
No, I think those jobs are right because I've had those jobs before where it's like a grind, where I was working at a TJ Maxx, like at a cash register, ringing shirts all day long, and I was kind of grumpy. And so whenever I come upon a person who has a job that can be monotonous and is like happy and thoughtful and asks me a question, I'm always like, wow, this person really understands life. They could do this horrible, monotonous job and care about me and be nice while doing it. I'm always inspired by those people.
Yeah, and also I guess you have the ability to affect change in a negative way if you do your job and you hate it, or you think everyone's out to get you. You're just going to be a little bit more jagged around the edges and more difficult, and you can affect people in negative ways too.
And I like to even just strip this down. I loved your example because that's the exact example I was going to use, the checker at Trader Joe's. So we're syncing together.
Yes.
But also, in the old days when we didn't wear masks, you could really affect change by just smiling. I know when I'm walking down the street and I walk past someone and they just smile, I'm
Mhm.
always like, oh, that was nice. They just smiled at me. Like even that tiny little thing can have an effect.
Right. And then I guess Adam is probably talking more about an artistic level. So every thought and every word, he's putting art out into the world, and that's affecting change. There's so many stories about people hearing songs that got them through something. Or I have this song called the Fight Song. I think it wasn't very big in the 2016 election. They used it. And what was it, one drop in the ocean can cause a tidal wave? I don't remember the lyrics, but it's like one little thing can make a big deal. And so get out there and do something.
No, I like this quote that we started with the little first because I really believe like a smile, a thank you, all of those things mean something. Adam was this in this documentary is just an amazing guy. The Beastie Boys say he was the true enigma in that, they were the fight for the right to party, frat guys
Hmm.
drinking beer, women
Brass
talking bad.
monkey.
But he literally, as they traveled the world, went and got to know people. He eventually becomes friends with the Dalai Lama.
Oh,
And the largest concert ever in San Francisco was a free Tibet concert. And he brought all of his friends, all of the bands, Rage Against the Machine, all these big bands. They had 2 gazillion people in to raise awareness for Tibet and their plight against China. And this is what they say about Adam. The Beastie Boys were together basically for 20 years. They never left each other's side. They lived in the same house. They ate all da. But one day they're like, hey, we should learn instruments. And then literally the next day, Adam picks up a stem right bass and knows how to play. And they're like, wait a minute. How did you know how to play the stem? We've been with each other every minute for 20 years. He was just this crazy enigma. And I just think he's the perfect person to have this quote because we can all be enigmas. We can all learn something. We can all sleep less, learn how to play the bass in the middle of the night when nobody's looking, then roll it out and be like, guess what? I know how to play the upright bass.
I heard a story that Steve Carell told was he was the understudy at Second City in Chicago, and the guy that he was backing up went off to do something else, and he had to play the trumpet in a sketch, and he stayed up all night playing the trumpet. His lips got all raw, but he got to play it well enough. So it's like you can make those things happen. You can will it. Something I want to say about change that maybe people will find inspiring is that, like, most of the time it is a little thing, like the cashier smiling or something, or if it's starting a company, you don't feel the change immediately, but when you look back on it, it's a big deal. Like maybe you're going to start on a course that's half a degree off, and then a year from now you'll see the change, but a lot of times you're not going to get the instant gratification when you start something.
Yeah, no, change is a big deal. And one of the Beastie Boys is asked, they're like, they later in their career, they wrote a lyric that was really positive towards women and moms, and really applauded them for the role that they have in life. And this journalist says, like, you're a hypocrite saying this. You guys used to be fight for your right and women and hoes and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, I'd rather be a hypocrite than the same guy I was when I was 18.
Yeah, that's true. You get to be able to do those things.
Change.
In the words of Michael Jackson, I'm going to make a change for once in my life. It's going to feel real good. Going to make a difference. Going to make it right.
Wow.
So we went from the Beastie Boys to the late, great Michael Jackson.
Outstanding.
Yeah. Well, if you want to look at the man in the mirror, please reach out. You can find us at Reposted Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I'm Andrew Keller for the Intergalactic Planetary saying thanks for stopping by.